So we're going to try to play Shimmer Dragon and Khalife, the two blue cards that really didn't get love that should have. We get to play Shimmer Dragon. It has hexproof. It's going to draw us 2 cards. Yeah, that's pretty good. We got it. Oh my goodness. I thought for sure that game was completely over. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff. So I have a super spicy and kind of interesting one here for you guys today. So I wanted to build a deck around actually Khalife first. I think it's how you pronounce this name. But her power is equal to your devotion to blue. And that's kind of a weird thing in blue to have something that is really power heavy. In fact, I was always really confused by this card being in here. And it's so awkward because for the longest time we've had enchantments or auras that would give a creature flying. We don't have the artifacts in blue. We don't really have anything that really does this for Khalife. We might have an artifact. Actually, I haven't looked into that. But it just was really funky with how it was working. We didn't have a way to really do it. But then I realized that we do have Shadow Spear. And so Shadow Spear would work with Khalife. And while I was kind of building this deck, I was going a little bit more towards enchantments, trying to keep stuff on the battlefield. And then I realized there's another card that we haven't really broken yet in blue. In fact, I don't think I've seen anyone playing this card, and when it was first spoiled, everyone was super excited. So Shimmer Dragon, 6 mana, 5/6 flyer. As long as you control 4 more artifacts, Shimmer Dragon has hexproof. Tap to untap artifacts you control and draw a card. So the reason why this one didn't stick around is basically because Dream Trawler, which Dream Trawler is just completely better in every way, basically. I'm sure I'm spelling it wrong. It's 2 words probably. But Shimmer Dragon is still very good. So we're going to try to play Shimmer Dragon and Khalife, the two blue cards that really didn't get love that should have in this set. And so we're going to go ahead and jump into it. What I did for this deck is, first off, we want a lot of artifacts on the battlefield. Witching Well lets us scry, draw cards. It's amazing. Omen of the Sea. It's just amazing card draw for us with Khalife. I think that you could switch out this for like some quenches. Maybe a couple of them could be quenches because we're trying to stick a little bit more towards the artifacts. But I decided to go ahead and try to keep Brazen Borrower as our main defense, just kind of bouncing back permanents as soon as we can, and Vantress Gargoyle as just a good blocker in the early game. Having a 5/4 body for 2, very, very powerful for blocking. It can only block as long as we have 4 cards or more in hand, and can only attack as long as defending player has 7 more cards in their graveyard, and we can tap it to put cards on top of the library to the graveyard, so that's pretty sweet. We don't necessarily want to be doing that too often. We want to be playing a lot of our stuff as we can, but Vantress Gargoyle by itself, if we have a few of these, could just win us the game if we play our cards right. And then we have a few ways to kind of ramp up to our Shimmer Dragon. We have 3 copies of Midnight Clock. I had 4 initially. I decided to go down 1. Make sure that we have a little bit more interaction with Sinister Sabotage. Also, the fun thing here, too, is that Shadow Spear works well with all of our different creatures. Like a Shadow Spear onto an attacking or even blocking Vantress Gargoyle. Pretty sweet stuff. I mean, being able to have lifelink in a blue deck is really, really powerful because we can kind of tempo out the game to an extent. We're not playing as much of a tempo deck, but even just Brazen Borrower and Sinister Sabotage will slow the game down quite a bit. And then we have Arcanist Owl, which is an artifact, and it lets us search for artifacts and enchantments from our deck, which is basically everything except Shimmer Dragon. I think every card, okay, Sinister Sabotage, Shimmer Dragon, and lands. Everything else it will be able to hit, which is pretty busted for Arcanist Owl, so perfect for our deck. It also pumps up Khalife's power, so once we do get a Shadow Spear on it, we can attack him for 1.5 million. And then of course we have the Shimmer Dragon, which is a great way to draw cards and to try to finish out the game. So that's basically the deck. Otherwise, in the lands, 4 Vantress, Castle Vantress, 1 Blast Zone, and let's go ahead and jump into gameplay, see how this one does for us, and wish me luck. All right, so honestly, I've not played a game with this yet, but this is what our opening hand can look like, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. Not a ton of interaction, but we have the Vantress Gargoyle. We have plenty of ways to hit good stuff along the way. So Witching Well, Scry 2, we will take more lands, and I think we do take Arcanist Owl. So I think we keep it on top. Pass the turn. Next turn we can Omen of the Sea, Scry, see if we want the thing underneath the owl. We could just hold up the Brazen Borrower as well. You know, actually, because we know what we want, let's go ahead and get out the Vantress Gargoyle. With the amount that we Scry here, we can put some things on top of our deck that we know we don't want tap him down, get rid of some stuff. That'll be pretty nice. All right, Spectral Sailor, so up against Flyers. By the way, I am playing in free play right now because I'm right on the cusp of Mythic. I'm Diamond Tier 1, and the other thing too about Standard in like that level right now is you're playing up against the exact same decks over and over and over and over again, which is fun, but not at all as well. So we scry 2 first, and then we draw a card, and then we can scry afterwards. We can also do this instant speed, huh? So let's go ahead and Witching Well first. Number 2, again, we're just trying to get artifacts on the battlefield, get Devotion out on the battlefield. It should work out okay. Arcanist Owl number 2. Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with that at all, especially if we're up against a Flyers deck. For sure. Pass the turn. Okay, unsummons the Vantress Gargoyle. That's fine. It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, if it means that we're taking 1 from Spectral Sailor, meh. We do need to keep 4 cards in our hand for blocking it some throughout all this. All right, Omen of the Sea. Again, we're keeping both on top, so the Scry isn't very useful, but drawing a card an extra time is definitely useful. We want the things that we want in our hand earlier. So Arcanist Owl, I'm kind of expecting this to get countered or bounced or something. Countered would be annoying, but we have another one. Ooh, Essence Capture, the worst counter. That actually might not be bad in our deck as well. You have to be playing so many counter spells to make Essence Capture be something useful in your deck, though, because you want to be holding up negates and things like that as well. Arcanist Owl number 2. See if they have another counter. I mean, this is our game plan. Sinister Sabotage, okay. Vantress Gargoyle is a lot worse when we don't get to have multiple cards in hand. We can kind of get them with Witching Well maybe at some point. How many cards in their graveyard? 4 at the moment. Okay, Castle Vantress. Let's go Vantress Gargoyle. Essence Capture. I have a feeling they're going to have a counter for this as well. But we're going to try to get to bounce the Spectral Sailor. And they just have everything. Rough. Alright, so I think our best shots is like land into Shimmer Dragon. We can draw 2 cards. Sinister Sabotage, okay. Pass the turn. This is a pretty fast clock. We don't love that. Down to 9. Let's go ahead and draw cards. Another Gargoyle. Pass to my turn. Okay, play Vantress Gargoyle. We get to draw 2 cards and block. So pass the turn. Then we get to also attack in. Maybe. Oh my goodness. We can't even block with this as is. So yeah, let it get unsummoned. Spectral Sailor number 2. I think we just want to draw more cards. I mean, the Spectral Sailors are annoying for sure. Things in for 4. Guess we hold up Sinister Sabotage. Down to 5. I mean, we don't have a lot going for us here. Activate Witching Well. Vantris Gargoyle. Only 2 cards in hand now. Let's go ahead and put this onto the Vantris Gargoyle. We get to hold up Sinister Sabotage still and pass the turn. Yeah, I kind of figured a Brazen Borrower or something would come out. If the last card is a counterspell, we're just dead. Not quite dead, because we can't attack back. But Vantris Gargoyle actually gets countered. Yeah, that's probably game. With the life gain, there still is a tiny bit of hope here. But if we have to counter anything, we suddenly can't actually block. So pass the turn. Oh, this is so ugly. Ops, yeah, trying to find an answer. They get draw, they get a bunch of things. If we get to attack with Vantris Gargoyle, we're actually in okay shape. Gonna draw. Oh man. Oh, this is intense. Like, we're really, really far behind at this moment. But okay, passes the turn. We just want to scry here. Let's go for Omen of the Sea. It is the better play, right? Yeah, lands to the bottom, definitely. Said lands to the bottom. Passed to my turn. Shimmer Dragon. Okay, we actually keep that in hand. Play Shimmer Dragon. We don't get to hold up Sinister Sabotage, which may be our death, our doom. Is it worthwhile to attack? It does not have hexproof at the moment. We need 2 artifacts here. They get to draw a card. And the odds of them hitting the right stuff is very, very bad for us. Is it better to just attack while we can? We go up to 7. Man, this is a tough choice. If we swing in with Vantris Gargoyle, then we can play the land and equip Shadow Spear to the Shimmer Dragon. If they don't hit anything, we have a little bit better shot. I think that we're so close to death no matter what. If they have anything at this point, we can't counter it. So we need to do, something here with our life total. So I think this is the best play overall. There's not really a good play at this point. We're definitely screwed if they draw into anything worthwhile in the next 3 draws, basically, they get. Okay, lets it through. Okay, we get some life gains. Sweet. Castle Vantris. equip this to Shimmer Dragon. Spectral Sailor, that's fine. No hexproof for Shimmer Dragon, unfortunately. If we had that out, so all we need is one more artifact, I think. Oh, two more. I think a hexproof trampling lifelink Shimmer Dragon would be pretty difficult to deal with. All right, so let's go with this. I guess Omen of the Sea, because then we get to keep our 4 cards in hand. Are these just counter spells? Yeah, we'll counter that. Actually, all right, fine. We don't counter that. So Castle Ventress is not gonna be able to do anything now. Play Khalife. We can attack in with Ventress Gargoyle again. They're tapped out. So I think that we do this instead. We make Ventress Gargoyle our attacker. Brazen Borrower's at least something. It's a blocker. Okay, equip onto Ventress Gargoyle. Being able to swing at Khalife on the next turn will be sweet. Okay, down to 8, up to 13, past the turn. Now they're a few turns away from killing us just if they swing in with everything. Terramander. Well, that's a big boy at this point. Yeah, 1 mana become a 5/5. Yep, not too shabby. Okay, tap and tap. Dude, Shimmer Dragon is pretty good. That's the ability that is really, really powerful. Is if you play with a lot of artifacts, you can end up drawing lots of cards really quick. In fact, let's go ahead and draw some cards again. Shadow Spear doesn't matter at all if it's tapped. So let's draw another card. Another Ventress Gargoyle. We can bounce the Terramander once it grows. Let's do this. Let's actually equip it onto Khalife. This is the whole reason that we have Khalife, is that we get to do fun shenanigans like this. How much mana do we have? All right, play Ventress Gargoyle as well. We're trying to grow Khalife as big as possible here. Next, swing in. If they let it through, we try to flash in Brazen Borrower. Shimmer Dragon now has hexproof as well. We were like, I thought for sure dead. And now we're kind of coming back. All right, we're gonna try to bounce the Terramander. Yeah, try to counter that. We'll counter it back. We got it! Oh my goodness. I thought for sure that game was completely over, and we somehow came back and won. And oh, I had so much fun in that match. It was a little bit slow, but we were able to finish that off. Up against Valandre. This looks like a pretty sweet hand. We will absolutely keep this. Shadow Spear, Omen, or Gargoyle if we feel like we need some blocks. Pass the turn. The hardest thing right now with Vantress Gargoyle is keeping 4 cards in hand for the blocks. That is quite a bit. We do get to do it for this turn though, so let's go ahead and Vantress Gargoyle, pass the turn. Next turn we get to hold up Sinister Sabotage or just equip the Shadow Spear, which may be enough. Giving it 5 toughness could stop a lot of blocks. Ooh, unless they can just sacrifice stuff. Would they be playing Infuriate? Oh, this is Death Touch. Okay, no blocks. They're gonna be able to give it Death Touch. This is Knights. Light up the stage. Okay. Shadow Spear of their own. Dreadhorde Butcher. Oh my goodness, so many things. Oh, I'd love to get out Midnight Clock here. I think we need to hold up the Sinister Sabotage though. With Dreadhorde Butcher and Murderous Rider. Yeah. Pass the turn. The issue is, now that we Sinister Sabotage, we can't really do much else. But I think it is worthwhile to get rid of that. Double Midnight Clock, I think we're just looking for land here. The sooner we can get to a Shimmer Dragon, the better. Okay, pass to my turn. Anything that can attack, honestly, that we can keep alive for a little bit, gonna be pretty good here. Let's just go Midnight Clock. We could see if they're not going to reach Vantress Gargoyle correctly and try to go with Omen of the Sea. Or we try to equip it here instead. But I'd rather Omen, make sure we can actually get to this Shimmer Dragon for the next turn. That sounds a little bit better. 1 artifact away from being able to have this hexproof as well. But just the drawing cards every turn will be pretty sweet. Dreadhorde Butcher. Yeah, that's annoying. I'm gonna swing in. Do they know how Vantress Gargoyle works? They do not! Yes! I'm gonna act like I'm doing stuff just so that they really don't see what's going on. Oh, I love it. No one knows how Vantress Gargoyle works. Because it's really weird. So it can't block unless you, me, have 4 or more cards in hand. So I cannot block at the moment. Omen of the Sea. Sorry. So I think we're just looking for land here. There's a few things that might be better. Another Shimmer Dragon? No. Witching Well. No, just lands. Just lands here. We get 2 draws to try to hit something. No, that's not it. Khalifa is pretty sweet though with Shadow Spear. Oh, I did this on their... I thought I was doing this on their end step. My bad. I was on the first attack phase there as well. Oh, now they're equipping Shadow Spear. Okay, pass to my turn. Yeah, Midnight Clock ticks up. Ooh. Clefe. One, two, three, four, 5. I want to be able to bounce or Shadow Spear. I think bounce is better. We can Shadow Spear and then attack. And I think the life gain attack will be pretty powerful. Murderous Rider They do have enough mana to do Murder Shredder things. Yeah, attacks in with a Knight. Alright, so we definitely know what's going on here. So we will block first. Get them to flash it in. Bounce the Fervent Champion. And Rotting Regisaur. Alright, that's big. Pass to my turn. That is pretty big and annoying, and still no lands. Intriguing. Well, Owen of the Sea main phase, we want to hit a land really bad. That is land and a counterspell. Is counterspell too late here? They already have a Rotting Regisaur. I'm going to go ahead and put that to the bottom. I'd rather have ways to draw cards here. How many cards in the graveyard? None. Pass the turn. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? They swing in with Rotting Regisaur, and we actually get to swing back for a bunch of life gain. Croxa. Oh, that's annoying. Alright, we lose our Shimmer Dragon. What's the last card in hand? Oh, they forgot to Shadow Spear onto the Rotting Regisaur. Shadow Spear and the Rotting Regisaur, that is a bad thing. That could happen, for sure. We will absolutely trade off if that starts being a thing. Okay, equips. How many things? All right, let's get to where we can attack. Go ahead and mill stuff over. We hit our land that we were looking for. Pass to my turn. 6. I mean, this midnight clock is pretty nice. How many lands do we have? We can just start putting counters onto this for 3 mana. Get to where we can actually draw. Okay, play out Brazen Borrower. We're absolutely going to be trading off with Rotting Regisaur. So, pass the turn. And a Shadow Spear Khalife is pretty sweet. I mean, maybe it's not quite as good as Rotting Regi. Alright, that's fine. Croxa, we take 2. That's the other issue with Banshee Gargoyle is all the giants that are in the graveyards these days kind of make it not as good. Yeah, we'll block. Let's go ahead and scry now. We get to tap. Brazen Borrower is not terrible. Not amazing, but it's not terrible. Not very good, I guess. I think we're just digging for like another Khalife or 7 cards in their graveyard. All right, we keep Razenbauer. And the reason why, so past to my turn, the reason why is before they get to bring back a Kroxa here, we're going to equip Ventress Gargoyle, start swinging in. It can't block. It's not going to be able to block for a while. Might as well get in for the beats. Pass the turn. And just a couple turns away, a Kroxa comes out. We have to... Okay, so we actually let this hit in response to him coming down. We go ahead and send him back. Yeah, we're going to end up taking more damage, but now they're filling a graveyard again away from being able to actually utilize him. They can't equip the Shadow Spear. Oh, do they have 2 mana? I didn't even notice that. That's fine. It's not actually in our hand, but... Okay. For a second there, I thought it was like staying on the battlefield. That is the one issue with this mtga system, is that it covers up these far lands sometimes. Alright, up to 10. No cards in the graveyard. Go 11, 12, or we can swing in with this. We still have the 2 mana to equip the Shadow Spear, so I think drawing 7 cards is definitely the best play here. Ventress Gargoyles now can block. So yeah, we do that. Okay, down to 15, pass the turn. Alright, this is actually working pretty well. Alright, Bone Crushy comes out, that's cool, that's fine. No big deal there. Knight of the Ebon Legion. Cool. These have been pretty long games, but super interesting and fun because it's completely different than the typical gameplay that I have with this. So I've actually been pretty happy with it. All right, gonna swing in to kill a Ventress Gargoyle. I'm pretty happy with that trade. We also get to put stuff in the graveyard so we can actually swing in with the other one. Yeah. Wait, it still had life gain when it deals the damage. That is interesting. I actually didn't know how that worked. 4 things in the graveyard. Let's bring out Khalife. We need to keep 4 cards in hand. I guess we can draw cards with Witching Well if we need to. Arcanist Owl and Omen of the Sea. I guess to the bottom. Equip to... Maybe just Brazen Borrower now? Pass the turn. I feel pretty happy with where we're at. This is not necessarily a bad thing that we have going on here. Equip the Shadow Spear onto Knight of the Even Legion. Okay, sweet. That's actually very good for us. That means they're going to pump here. Alright, so I'm going to block to force the pump. Yeah, now we're just going to send you back there, sir. Photo skips it up. There we go. Oh, man. See, this is the type of blue I actually like playing. I know a lot of people hate blue and it shouldn't be a part of it, but this is the side of blue that just no one plays. That is actually super fun, and I think it's actually pretty cool. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Up against Nick and Nomi, and this is pretty sweet. Again, the Vantress Gargoyle for turn 2 is seemingly pretty powerful, especially because so many people don't understand how it works. Up against another Rakdos deck, it seems. It would appear. Oh, Blaststone's kind of awkward with these Arcanist Owls. But probably going to be pretty useful against Rakdos deck at some point. Midnight Reaper. Okay. Shimmer Dragon's pretty sweet as well. So do we go for the Midnight Clock or just hold up the Sinister Sabotage? We can get this Shimmer Dragon earlier, but I think we're just trying to go for these Arcanist Owls and try to counter good things, basically. Croxa. That's fine. Discarding an Arcanist Owl. Yep, gets the card draw. It's really good. Land and something else. Okay, they have a Witch's Oven. With the Blast Zone, we actually have an answer for that, but might as well get rid of it while we can. We will keep the island on top for the Arcanist Owl. Take a Midnight Clock and pass the turn. Can't attack yet. Pass the turn. Woo, Strider. I like the goat noise. I'm not gonna lie, that makes me happy. Let's go ahead. It doesn't tap the creature. Might as well. We got rid of a... Cauldron Familiar isn't that bad for them to hit. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult one to play against. The Claim the Firstborn is pretty annoying. I guess filling our graveyard was definitely not the right play. Do we kill the Midnight Reaper? Probably not. They play Blast Zone. We can play double Midnight Clock, get to the Shimmer Dragon, or just go Arcanist Owl again. Let's go double Midnight Clock. It's kind of weird, actually, playing these together. Because you shuffle your hand into your graveyard, so we'll end up having these hit twice, actually. So playing them on the same turn is a little bit awkward. So we're going to have to remember to put a counter onto one of the other ones early on. No attacks past the turn. We're happy to be blocking for a turn or two. Ghost Rider Scries. Yep, yep, yep. Counters onto midnight clocks. This has been a surprisingly just cool deck. I think that's the best way to say it because it's super fun. The style of blue that we're playing. All right, Witch's Oven. That's annoying with the Cauldron Familiar. And Croxa. Oh, that's annoying. Nice. Getting rid of the Arcana style here. We do have Blast Zone for the Witch's Oven. And Cauldron Familiar. So, I mean, like, we can take care of it, but it's annoying. Oh my gosh, nice. So many Croxas. That's just rude. Swings in with Woe Strider. How many things in the graveyard? I don't think that they're going to be bringing... I mean, they get to draw a card here, but I think we go ahead and block. They get to bring back Cauldron Familiar. Brazen Borrower. Definitely be something worse. Okay, pass the turn. Dealing with these Croxas is gonna be difficult. Okay. Yeah, get rid of those. Should have bounced the Midnight Reaper beforehand. Oh, dang it. That's fine. Alright, so they're going to bring back a Croxa. And I think even though they're going to be able to shock us again with it or do a bunch of damage, we're going to bounce the Croxa. I don't think we can deal with one that's on the battlefield for a few turns. And being able to get them to exile their graveyard is at least useful. I guess we can wait. We can't wait. So bounce the Croxa. Yeah, we have nothing, so we end up taking 6 from this Croxa anyway. Which is up. Oh my goodness, dude. The amount of draw they've had from this Midnight Reaper has been ridiculous. And we've just run pretty clunkily. Clunkily, I say. Uh-huh. Yep, that's pretty clunky right there. Alright, pass the turn. We get to Brazen Borrower and put a counter onto a Midnight Clock. That's what we're doing for our turn. What are they doing for their turn? Winning the game. Is it even worth sticking around here? You know, I'm going to scry just for our own sanity. And then we're going to concede. Yeah. We will take 1 loss. Against the deck that is the most resilient, I think, of any other deck. Others are more explosive, but the Rakdos Sack deck is really powerful. Ibarayuki, the next contender. No interaction, but lots of card draw, so we'll keep it. Arcanus Owl on turn 4. If we're on the play, this would be much better. Oh my gosh, another Sack deck. Again, I think this is our hardest matchup. We're in free play, so we don't run into this all the time. Yeah, lands into Shimmer Dragon, sure. I guess we keep both. Not interaction still, but we get to draw a few cards along the way. Thought Erasure. This is probably the best time for Thought Erasure to come around. Hey, Grixis means it's not Rakdos sack. I'm okay with that. We already know that we want what's on top. So I guess we just pass the turn. If they go to discard again, that's pretty fine. We will draw it though. See if we want what's underneath. Another Arcanisal. Yeah. Sure. Now we have a hand that's almost not seen. It's always nice. Leafey, that's what we came to play. And another Witching Well. I think we... Actually, we just need lands here. We can hit Cleefeys and stuff with Arcanisals. So 2 to the bottom. If we hit land here, that would be perfect. Shadow Spear. Sweet. Alright, well, we will go for Arcanisal. If they have Counterspell, that's fine. Ventress Gargoyle. Pass the turn. The Devil. Cool. That's fine. We want ramp, so Midnight Clock, Ventress Gargoyle. This means there's 4 artifacts. So Shimmer Dragon, if we hit land, we have Hexproof on Shimmer Dragon, which is huge against this deck. Huge. Only 3 cards in the graveyard, though. Well, there's land. Please resolve. Shimmer Dragon. We get to draw a card right away if it resolves. Don't do it. Don't you dare. Ah! Dude, people playing Mystical Dispute main board, it is really good. And you do run up against blue decks pretty often, but still, it's just... It's kind of hurts a little bit. Like, by a little bit, I mean like, oh my goodness, that hurts a lot. Alright, activate the ability. Hopefully this isn't another Shimmer Dragon. Yeah, that's fine. Opponent's stuck on lands. That means a lot of interaction, lots of things they can be doing. We can't hold up Counterspell, but we're gonna play Arcanisal. Witching Well. Lands. Yeah, to the bottom. Once we're up to 6 mana, I don't think we... Like, if we run into lands, great, because they're not a terrible thing to have, but with the Witching Well draws, I'm sure we're going to hit a lot more. Bounce it back with Tyrant Scorn. That'd be sweet. The Shadow Spear does change things a lot. Erebos' Intervention. Oh, man. I think I've underestimated how good this is as a removal card. The life gain with it makes it very powerful. Alright, pass the turn. I always hover over what my like interactions are so that they might assume that I'm like, wait, why didn't it just pass automatically? It's worked for me in the past. Alright, Sinister Sabotage. Yeah, definitely keeping Cleefey on top. I want to hold him to Brazen Barber. Okay, put a counter onto Midnight Clock. We're getting pretty close to actually being able to draw the cards with it. So, Khalife, go. Shadow Spear onto... Actually, wait, we don't need that yet. It's past the turn. Dude, this deck is so different from anything else I've run up against. Like, I would love to be playing against this deck. It's so fun. Tyrant Scorn. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. We kind of figured that would happen. Go Brazen Borrower. Sinister Sabotage is nice. Okay, Shadow Spear there. Back in. No reason to draw cards with the Witching Wells because we're going to draw 7 right now, actually. We lose our hand. Should be able to find something here. No interaction. How about that? Chemistry's Insight. If we get to resolve a Shimmer Dragon, it's so good. I'm a big fan of Midnight Clocks. I really didn't think that in these games it would really ever go off, but it's happened twice already. Okay. Okay, pass to my turn. We get to play Shimmer Dragon. It has hexproof. It's gonna draw us 2 cards. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pass the turn. These colors don't have board wipes that really work unless they have like double Storm's Wrath or something, or maybe a way to get rid of this stuff. But Shimmer Dragon against this deck is like exactly what we need. That's kind of cool. They use the ability, draw 2. Oh, it's so good. All we get to do is just draw cards all day long. Maybe like we should do like a Dream Trawler. No, who cares about Dream Trawler? Dream Trawler is stupid. This Shimmer Dragon is phenomenal. I love it. All right, how many cards in the graveyard? All right, well, first off, let's equip on this Shimmer Dragon. Swing him on in. Oh, it blows up the artifact. Interesting. We hit a Sinister Sabotage. I mean, this is a pretty big deal to keep this. Bolt to the bottom. Yeah, all right. Resolve. Vantress Gargoyle, pass the turn. Keeping this with hexproof is also important. So hopefully Vantress Gargoyle stays around. Woo! All right. Oh man. This deck, man, whenever it goes off, it is so fun. I'm really happy with this deck. I'm kind of surprised. Like, I think that we were playing up against competitive decks too. Like, I don't think that any deck we were playing against wasn't very competitive. I typically play 5, but those are very long games for 4. And I think you guys got to see what the deck can do. Like, we got to see very much what the deck can do there. And so I was thinking this was going to be a little bit more of a janky deck. Honestly, I did not expect this to go as well. It went very well. I think the Khalife with Shadow Spear worked out pretty well. There's definitely going to be times when you can just get her out, get a Shadow Spear onto her, opponent won't have as much of a board, and all of a sudden you like throw down a bunch of devotion and bam, you swing in for a bunch, like with Arcana style. So definitely possibilities there for kind of the aggressive play, as well as kind of more of the controlling play where you're drawing lots of cards. I think the hardest matchup will probably be the Counterspell Central, you know, decks. Maybe Mystical Dispute would be good in this deck for that kind of stuff. So I think that's the biggest thing, is maybe we can drop I don't know, something for a few more counter spells against, so that you have a better chance against the control matchups. But overall, I think the deck is super fun. I think it's really powerful in funny, interesting ways. And so let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the deck. And yeah, if you guys like the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.